All's fair in love and war, and apparently spying on your enemy is not out of the question. Of course, leave it to the Americans to use underhanded tactics. I am definitely cutting that out. If you want to see what happens when you pit a group of girls who, let's be honest, has no real combat experience against teams that have been practicing for quite a while, well, that's what we're getting. Various schools, various countries, various tanks. It's all an uphill climb, and ultimately, we're just trying to stay away from another anglerfish dance. Can they win this one and make a name for themselves? Maybe. It's best if we find out. And outside of the battle zone, are we going to get much more just friends spending time together? Oh, and the history of Yukari being a lonely child. And we haven't actually met any of the mechanics yet, so I'm guessing something goes quite catastrophically wrong and they're going to have to call them in. So, who actually decided on their little animal mascot call signs? And after such a nice, calming, fun little intro, we're getting straight to a tank shell to the face. No. Still can't handle that. But let's be honest though, I think we'd all react kind of the same way if that's what we saw. Peeking out from the bush. M4, 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 M4A1. If you can whittle them down slowly. Are you getting useful information this time? You know, I think she's quite bad at holding her cool. You know, staying calm in this situation is quite valuable. What was with that face staring directly at the camera? I wouldn't really like to be crossing vast distances without any cover. Just make some out of cardboard. Drop them up. Oh no, how can anyone trick you? There is a rumbling in the jungle. Hi. Who's gonna blink first? Well, this is awkward. Yeah, it's probably not the safest to be just hanging out on top. Let alone getting hit by a round, you just kind of fall off. She's quite good at visualising on the map where everything is. Good serve. She's not a very good tank commander there, blaming her crew. Well, they didn't want to let go of the club, so gotta keep it alive somehow. Will the machine gun do too much? Sure, the rear armor is weaker, but are they being drawn out into the open? Greetings, motherfucker. Do you want to turn back? That was quite good timing there. Relying entirely on what you'd overhear rather than taking real-time information. Well, at least you have some sense of battle honor. A fitting music accompaniment. So who's the first one to come into danger? Just because it's a quote-unquote bestseller doesn't mean it's the best. Most of the time it just means it's cheaper. So even with all of them firing, they're not landing even a glancing blow. I don't think they really want to be taking orders from her. She's throwing a temper tantrum. As to be expected. But just like before, where they were drawing her out of the trees, Calm and precise. Are you... It's just time to snack while in a battle like this. I think you're getting distracted. There's some good ears that you've got there. It is nice to see the effective range, at least being told. They could have easily rolled in with overwhelming firepower, but... Are they going to suffer friendly fire? It's like a big conga line, just a lot more deadly and a lot more metal. She must be quite fluent in texting quickly after all of this. Are you arguing over which it's more familiar? Oh. To be fair, I think if she hit, it would be more surprising. It's been a while since I've had a delicate cucumber sandwich, but I understand the... I appreciate the metaphor. Well, and you're putting out a fire. So, well, we now know who was the first to go out. And tracked. Did she not appreciate the nickname she gave it? At least they've got the heavy hitter still in action. So as soon as you have the upper hand, you go and act like that. They are writing their wills already. And losing their nerve. Come on, Commander, what's your big plan of action? Surprise everyone. You know, coming back from the brink where everything looks hopeless is much better of an underdog story. Glancing blow. So far, all they've done is drive in a straight line. There's not really much that you've done here. Someone tie her up and leave her in the back. There's no point thinking that you've lost until the match is over. As soon as you give up, you lose. Good luck with that. Hopefully you dial in the shot. A woman of few words. Maybe pinning all of their attention on the flag tank wasn't the best course of action. Nice pan there. That was close. This would have been an entirely different story if she hadn't have decided to make this a fair fight. It's faster than the barrel can turn. Loaded. And miss. Which shell is going to land first? It pops. Do we have a photo finish to determine what happened there? It wasn't really a team effort. Yeah, one of them ended up in a ditch again. They're all going to need to scrub up. They're looking a bit bruised and dirty. I think she needs a few Valium. I would like to see some of the smaller teams, tanks, do a bit more. Like the ones who ran away, get a bit of a redemption. Personal space isn't a concept, is it? If that was your intention in the first place, why bring the others? It's not really a fair fight. Good thing it wasn't a complete elimination battle then. I'm I'm guessing not being invited round for Sunday lunch at the family home then. Just quit now. The most damning thing that can be said after an altercation. Was Yukari just enjoying watching one of the tanks roll past? An interesting. Is about her grandmother? Clearly nothing. The last time after the match she was talking about her grandmother, so yeah, Can you ask some of your new friends for personal transport? It's only a... I wasn't really expecting that one, but okay. Is it though? Okay. Are you all going to go with them, or is there not enough room? She does care, really. I was expecting a helicopter that didn't look like it was made out of scaffolding. I know a little bit more about helicopters than I do tanks. Well, I hope so, at least, because, you know, I worked in aviation for a little bit. Hopefully the issues with her grandmother won't... force her to pull out of being the driver. Oh. Now that looks like a war zone. She doesn't really have many emotions, does she? Maybe it was drilled out of her with all the constant tank training. Having to receive a phone call like that, I don't know if it would make it any better to have a happy little purring cat just before. I haven't actually had any ringtones or message alert sounds for quite a while. At least apart from the standard ones that come with phones and whatnot. I don't know why that clown car looking thing just there made me laugh. And now with one victory under her belt, No wonder her sister is acting more familial with her. But the volleyball team actually somewhat impressed me there. Blinding the enemy tank while trying to make your escape. Well, quick thinking probably saved them, at least for a little bit. But when they first rolled up there, they could have fired a round off. Who knows, they could have gotten exceedingly lucky. But now that that battle is over, I'm guessing we're going to spend a little bit more time outside of the tanks, especially if there's a poorly relative. We already know that she struggles to stay awake, probably has some sort of medical issue. And now having the grandmother collapse, who I think may be her only relative, dunno. Usually when they mention grandmothers like that and no one else, that's kind of how it rolls. Well, hopefully you're up for a tough time next week. If you enjoyed this one, let me know. If you could identify the sound of the firefly firing its shell, oh, you've actually got some kind of talent there, but at the same time, maybe it could be put to better use. But if you enjoyed it, leaving a like and a comment is appreciated, and of course subscribing. Why do I have to tell them to subscribe? I'm an adult. When I see a video, I subscribe anyway if I want to. I never thought, oh, they've said subscribe, I have to do it now. But high impact, adrenaline pumping fun in heavy machines. Join me again for the next one. My patrons are the well-timed shot that would lead to my inevitable victory. If you would like to help my channel get the best possible trajectory, then consider joining onto my Patreon as well. Because at the minute, Sal, Raywin, Electrican, Darthia, Shiwan, Mecha, Jennifer Rohat, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Mads, Rasmus Paulson, Gurley, Dynamite1997, ASD, Darkshadow 7899 and everyone else has all gathered around my tank, and it's getting a little crowded.